What you're about to see is a Lucifer starlight shell. It's not depleted uranium. It is not depleted uranium. It is very much, in fact, just a uranium rod, basically encased in steel, or uranium bar, basically. Uranium bar, and it's encased in steel, and basically highly radioactive, highly radioactive, and it's not safe for what's called Bill Gates' father, Bill Gates went around killing a bunch of people, doing a bunch of other stuff, and basically was a very bad person. Um, they were trying to say that they were Irish, and they were good Irish people, but they weren't. Um, anyway, though, they got a hold of my starlight shells, which are used for in space or flares in space, basically. And basically, you launch one of these, you get into space, and you go, fire one. And this reaction will continue and continue and continue because it's got nowhere for the heat to go. They might explode at some point in time when they get up to a certain thing. They're just pretty fun to look at. I think you can create a star with them or something. It's something that I used to do billions of years, and I think they were here because of the fact that I used them to create that star up there in the sky. It's what we use to create stars and stuff like that, and other fusion reactor reactions, basically. And basically, yeah, it's pretty much a uranium rod. Uranium rod, as Bill Gates' father is showing right here. He doesn't know science. They actually got it from the Germans. He doesn't understand anything what he's talking about. They don't know anything about what they're talking about. He's basically just a guy that was still left alive when everyone else was dead, basically. And he was able to access, just like some other people. Anyway, so he has this thing basically, and pretty much, he's showing it. And somebody asked him in an interview, basically, that they're really bad people that killed a lot of other people and got a lot of other people killed. Nothing to do with computers, nothing to do with anything more than they could. They were part of some death plot or whatever. Anyway, that's Bill Gates' father, Zachary's father, basically, who I think was on the run from his own son at some point in time, and probably will be on the run for a very long time, considering how many people they got killed. Other people were like, Brian, like, no. Everyone hates this man. Everyone hates Zachary. Zachary is a very, very bad person. Yeah, that's Bill Gates' father, or Bill Gates' brother or uncle or something like that. And where Bill Gates is, he's not even a scientist himself. More than, Anyway, though, they broke into a warehouse and found these things and noticed that they could kill their enemies or something like that. Anyway, they're very dangerous, and it's actually German science basically that did it. Pretty much that made them be able to do this, and they were able to kill a lot of people with it, and pretty much nothing could stop it except for, well, anyway. In general, it was basically the most deadly thing, but they didn't understand how it worked. They didn't understand anything about it. They still don't understand anything about it. They give it to some people and basically said, "Here, go kill some things." Anyway, not telling the people that they gave it to that they were deadly and going to die and definitely sterile right away from the moment in time when they came in contact with those shells to pretty much when they actually use those shells, especially if they, like I said, a person can't use it because you go and it goes out and then it goes and starts the fusion reaction. So you have to be in a tank or else you're dead. Like if you use a bullet to shoot like this, it'll basically be irradiating you to its target. So basically, like I said, that's one of the things they found out in Desert Storm because they fired the shell. Fire one! And the shell went into the target, killed the target. And then they looked over and they noticed that the soldiers next to them were dead as well. It's like, yeah, you have to be shielded to use them. The soldiers standing next to the tank basically went, ugh! I think, pretty much. Like, because there's some soldiers like in a V formation, the tank was like this, and the soldiers were out there in front, and they fired, and the tank saw a target and fired. And killed everybody to the target. All the soldiers in the immediate area died immediately. I'm pretty sure. Basically, they didn't understand what they were. They just knew that they were Powerful. Anyway, so yeah. So there were soldiers in a V formation from it when the tank fired. And they all died from the shell, basically. Or got violently ill. Blood coming out and stuff. Yeah. Nobody forgot. They forgot to tell them that it was literally a fusion reaction, and anybody from the tippy top of the barrel of the gun, of the cannon, to the target was going to die. So nobody told them. They even made bullets that soldiers could fire, and the soldiers fired the bullets. Oh, so good, sir. Because it was a fusion reaction. Fusion reactions, when they're actually happening, are very deadly. If the metal is just sitting there, it's mostly deadly. So, anyway, like I said, an open source flame and fusion reactor is like, you're dead. The moment you see it, you're dead. Anyway, everything about fusion and nuclear stuff is bad. Very, very bad. And they didn't really care. So pretty much the mercenaries that they hired to use the shells, the mercenaries that the people that the mercenaries shot at, even the people that actually handled the shells pretty much were permanently affected by these things, and basically would be wondering for years why they were dying and why their hair fell out and why they didn't feel right. And doctors would be telling them for years, it's nothing, it's nothing, it's nothing. But realistically, it was Bill Gates and some other shit humans that just didn't give a fuck. They broke into a warehouse and they found these shells. And they were basically in a museum. And pretty much, were connected to the star in our sky, pretty much. And they found these shells, and they didn't really know what they were, or how to use them, but they decided to use them anyway. And basically, yeah, they're deadly, but there's other ways to still be able to do stuff like that. We have normal shells, but these shells were more dangerous and could one kill people. Instead of having to have to aim for the engine, you could aim for just about anywhere. It also killed all the soldiers up to the target too, so they thought 2 for 1 or something. But it also killed the soldiers that were using the shells, so 3 for 1, I guess. I don't really know. I just know that they're my shells, and they're used for creating stars. And we're not supposed to be used by little young children, but oh well. Or even older 40-year-old children who just wanted to kill them in the trenches, kill them wherever, kill them everywhere, blah, blah, blah. Like, yes, they're very deadly. You're not supposed to use them on a planet, don't you know? Anyway, they're my shells. I know all about them. Anyway, I built them and put them in a warehouse and had them in lead-lined cases so no one would ever touch them or get hurt by them because they're dangerous. You use them in space to create stars, which is what I did for many years. Anyway, yeah. So anyway, some kids thought it'd be cool. Probably Rodney. Probably someone connected to Rodney. And probably some Bill Gates motherfucker. And probably some other guys. And probably some black Africans. And probably some other people that just wanted the easy way to kill people and get in power. And basically didn't really want to do any work about it or anything. Or be able to read the labels. So they broke into my warehouse. And they stole them. And then they put them in their little cannon. And they fired them. Yeah. Get that bitch. Yeah. Like a crotch gun. Nuclear tipped bullets. Anyway, yeah. So I have to act all pathetic because what they did was really pathetic. So, yeah. Anyway, they broke into the museum or the warehouse and they found them. And then they started putting them in cannons and they started using them. And yeah, they were very effective for killing people. And for war, but I would never use them on a planet. They're too dangerous. Like the cleanup effort is huge. Like you have to go. Even one little bit can be killing people for years. They're insane. Like use them in space for creating stars. They're in a museum. They're called LSLS shell. LSLS. That's all they were. Just LS. LS. Not even, which stands for Lucifer Star Light Shell. for creating a sun or a star.